Hello everyone, welcome to the Unschooling Lifestyle. I just wanted to share a little bit about balance and how all of it comes together with unschooling, human design, and perhaps the transition. I do remember when we started our journey back in 2020, I felt really overwhelmed with, like, I wanted to keep the best house possible, like clean and comfortable at all times. And I had this environment that recreated school at home. So I had all this curriculum, all these books, and all of the manipulatives that you could possibly imagine. And I don't know, close to 5 years later, all of it is gone. I still have a few things that kind of linger around just because I haven't been able to part with them for different reasons though. But as far as balance goes, like, I remember someone telling me early on in our journey, you can do anything, but you cannot do everything. And really, that really stuck with me because after that, I was like, it is so true. Is it more important for me to do dishes all day long, which, I mean, I feel like they never end, like really, but, or can I just sit down for a moment and maybe, read a book or, do a painting or just watch them do something that they're excited about in that moment and kind of just move on to the dishes later. So that's kind of how I approach life right now. Just the decision making is to prioritize what works for us first and then kind of seeing how in what order we need to do things. So thanks to my husband, the dishes do get done, the laundry gets done. My approach to laundry is I do laundry every day, so it's one load per day, and I do one load, I dry one load, and I fold one load, and if I get lucky, I put away that one load. So it's like, a big it's a process for me. The one thing that really, and then that's kind of what I wanted to show you, is that we have this table that gets used for all kinds of projects. So in human design, there are, the types. So there are 5 types, and in our house has 2 out of the 5 types. So we have 3 manifesting generators, and my oldest son is a generator. So what that means, especially for my younger son, who is a manifesting generator, is the multi-passionate energy. And oh my gosh, I have so much to say about that, but there are a couple of videos in our channel that kind of speak to that a little bit, of how important it was for me to find out that I was a multi-passionate, that I am a multi-passionate individual. And how that looks like for my younger son is that we have projects, and we have projects that they get started and then they kind of get put in the background for like a minute or 2, and by that it's like a day, could be 2, 3 days, 4 or 5 days, until he's ready to come back to it. So we have this table that's kind of like a table for everything, and then the table gets cluttered, and then I have to go through it and kind of declutter the table I want to say maybe about every week and a half or something, because then I start becoming like overwhelmed. Like, so today we did parkour, we came home, we went to the Homestead store and bought some bath bombs, and then we went to lunch, and what else? We went somewhere else. So we went to my parents' house for a minute. But I realized that I was actually avoiding being home because the table is so cluttered, to the point that I'm like, I cannot be part of it right now, because I'm like, it's just, it doesn't allow me to enjoy the environment. So after lunch, the boys and my husband went to a store to just kind of look around and do some, they have Bass Pro, they have fish and just different exhibits there and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool for them. So they asked if I wanted to go, but really I knew that I didn't want to go, and that I really just wanted to be home to declutter this table, because that is exactly what I needed in order for me to enjoy. So let me see if I don't think I can turn this around. So hold on a second. Okay, so here's a table, and you're probably thinking that looks crazy. And for us, it is actually a little bit too much. So I kind of let it go. But I was out of town on a trip, and I just got home, and everyone kind of, my husband kind of follows the same what am I saying? Like the same approach to balance. It's like he does what works for them, and then they go out. He also prioritizes time with them, or maybe they want to go for a walk or something. So not everything gets done every day. So here is the project that came a couple of days ago. So I got the Mac. I think his name is Mark Rover, right? I think so. Yes, and they actually really liked it. So they both did that. And then here is another project. Those are crystals. There are some art, some pages that are put together over here. Here are some balloons and something, I'm not really sure. And then there are some of our art stuff, our plants, who are absolutely lovely. And then there are some of my journals and the oracle that I like to use. So obviously right now I'm like, I can't even use the oracle because the table is beyond clutter. I go through this every week and a half or something, and every corner is every corner kind of gets a little makeover every now and then. So some corners are better than others. I'll show you. So here is the corner that's a little bit better right now. So it's like, again, more art supplies, lots of books, and here are the bookmarks that I love to use for my books, and it's just a little better. Here is the bag where I'm going to declutter at this point and just kind of part ways with some of the things. So I'll be parting with some of the things and then checking in with them whenever they come back. So I'll make a pile of the stuff that I want to check in with to make sure that it is okay for me to move on with, because I know that I will say, well, they won't remember, but they will. They will, and they do. And I finally, I mean, it took a while, right? But I finally, I'm like, their items are just as important as mine. So we make sure everyone checks in before we remove anything from this house that may be important to someone. So it's a little bit of a longer process, but it is totally worth it, because then at this point, this house is also theirs, right? So there's like ownership into that. So that's about it though, really. I like to say that I came to this technique for a long time, but really not. It's a trial and error. It's a lot of experiments, but if you're on the verge of moving into unschooling or thinking about it, or at the beginning of it, just be so grace, have so much grace for yourself, because we are conditioned to do so much and to want to be productive all the time and to have a clean house, children doing all this curriculum, and having all these activities, and it should not be like that. If you're okay with that, then that's different. But if you're feeling like you're drowning and you can't get anywhere and you still want to do something and people are still asking you to do something, then it's probably a good moment to slow down, step back, and fine tune what is serving you and your family and your children in the best possible way. Yes, I went through burnout at the very beginning. It probably was I don't know, maybe about 2 years or even longer. I don't know. But know that our house is not always the cleanest, but we do have priority. Our priority is to really spend time with the boys as much as we can, and there's a balance there between the jobs, my employment, and content creation, which I really love. I love sharing about unschooling and how incredible, the changes that we have seen are incredible. So yes, so if you're just transitioning or on the verge of it, just give yourself some grace and prioritize what works for you and your family. It looks different for everyone. So thank you so much for being here. Do let me know in the comments if there's anything that resonated with you, or what are you hesitating with on your journey. And maybe we can tackle that on a community call from, through our Facebook. page. Thank you once again. Please remember that your time is precious. I hope you're making it count. Take care. Bye.